Hello, BookTube. I have a sunny mail haul for you here. 3 packages, no boxes, but a couple of these have heft to them. These could be real books. It's bright and sunny, but still stubbornly cold outside. I don't imagine that's going to last. I think this will be the last cold weekend for a long time. I'm hoping that that's true. It looks to me like next week the temperatures are going to start to go up into spring territory, with one day next week maybe up around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We will see, but a day like this, like the last couple have been, where the daytime high is below freezing and where at night it goes down below freezing, I don't think we're going to get many more of those. And it's beautiful anyway. Dean and I are going to go on a walk. So let's see what this first one is. Just 3 manila packages. That shouldn't be hard to do. Oh my. Okay, this is from Harvard University Press. This is by Orville Vernon Burton and Amanda Derfner. And this is Justice Deferred, Race and the Supreme Court. My. So this is from Harvard University Press. Comes out in March sometime. We're in March now. In the first comprehensive account of the U.S. Supreme Court's race-related jurisprudence, a distinguished historian and renowned civil rights lawyer scrutinized a legacy too often blighted by racial injustice. The Supreme Court is usually seen as a protector of our liberties. It ended segregation, was a guarantor of fair trials, and safeguarded free speech and the vote. But this narrative derives mostly from a short period, from the 1930s to the 1970s. Before then, the court spent a century largely ignoring or suppressing basic rights, while the 50 years since 1970 have witnessed a mostly accelerating retreat from racial justice. That is largely true. The gutting of the Voting Act, especially egregious, but the Supreme Court refused to overturn the due election in 2020. And 3 justices were put on the court specifically for the purpose of overturning a legitimate election. They didn't do it. So it's tough to think of them as a villain at the moment. From the Cherokee Trail of Tears to Brown versus the Board of Education to the dismantling of the Voting Rights Act, historian Orville Vernon Burton and civil rights lawyer Armand Derfner shine a powerful light on the court's race record, a legacy at times uplifting but more often distressing and sometimes disgraceful. Oh boy, fantastic. Oh my. Well, I love this subject anyway, the Supreme Court I love anyway. This is a March release. I'm not sure I'm not getting the finished copy, but I've got the advanced copy. That's good enough for me. I'll read it right away. I will read it tonight, in fact. And we have, okay, this is 2 more books from Harvard University Press in the same, oh no, oh no. Okay, we've already seen these. This is a duplicate shipment. This is a pattern of violence, but what constitutes violent crime and how we punish it in the legal system, and the Horde, in which the author says that the Mongol hordes were actually great cultural tillers of the soil, in addition to being military conquerors. But there was more to it than just that. They were cultural purveyors. Very interesting stuff. But I already have these. These are duplicates. And then we have this last one. This last one is nice and heavy, so it may be a finished copy that somebody just put in a manila envelope, which they should. I really shouldn't be getting big finished copies in box. No, this is a trade paperback, whatever it is. What is this? Oh. I believe this is one of you breaking rule number 1. Rule number 1 on this channel is don't send me a book. I mentioned the other day that David Murphy of sainted memory, David Murphy, who used to have a BookTube channel, and then he went away and we all breathed a sigh of relief. He is coming back to BookTube, and as a way to herald that august event, he and I are doing read-along all throughout the month of March for March Mystery Madness, which concentrates on murder mysteries and loves them, celebrates them. He and I are reading 4 canonical murder mysteries, 4 great canonical murder mysteries: The Hound of the Baskervilles, The Body in the Library, The Daughter of Time, and Gaudy Night. We're starting with The Hound of the Baskervilles. I believe we'll both put up our videos on it tomorrow. I'll have to email them and see. But I'm not going to make any more videos today, that's for sure. That's for sure. But when I was talking about that event and inviting you all to join us, I mentioned the fact that although I have a couple of Penguin Classics of Sherlock Holmes, and although I have ebooks of everything, I don't have a 1-volume complete Sherlock Holmes with Sidney Paget illustrations from the Strand magazine. Got to have the Sidney Paget illustrations. You just got to. And I don't. I had one once upon a time and it's gone. A couple of you pointed out I've not only had one, I've had a few over the years that we've been talking with each other. I get rid of them all. And here's another one. This is a rather nice one. dude, this is rather nice. This is nicer than the other ones that I've had. There's Holmes and Moriarty at the Reichenbach Falls, and this has the Sidney Paget illustration. So does this actually, the $50,000 question, does this have the Hound of the Baskervilles? Yes, it does. So this has the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This has introduced the Study in Scarlet and the Sign of Four. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the Hound of the Baskervilles, the Return of Sherlock Holmes, the Reminiscences of Sherlock Holmes, the Valley of Fear, His Last Bow, the Casebook of Sherlock. This has everything. Fantastic. Okay, well, all right. Once again, rule number one is don't get me a book, but I won't part with this. This is really nice. This is actually nicer than the volumes that I've had. So whoever you are, thank you very much. That's wonderful. I will reread The Hound of the Baskervilles today in this volume. I'll reinforce it a bit because it's trade paperback, but wow, okay. Okay, great. And this made the voyage. This is also this is a Wordsworth edition. And it looks like it made the voyage. This might count as my beloved UK trade paperback because the price on it is in pounds. So, okay, fantastic. The only problem here, the only slight problem, you get this a lot with the Sidney Paget illustrations, is sometimes they are over dark. Sometimes the printing just has them over dark, and there's nothing you can do really about that. But I know them so well that that I won't need much. I just need them as signifiers. Okay, fantastic. The complete Sherlock Holmes. All right, so that's our mail haul. We have the complete illustrated Sherlock Holmes. We have Pattern of Violence, about violent crime. That's a double. And if I get doubles of the finished copies, I'm happy to send them out if one of you is interested. And Marie Favreau's The Horde, a new interpretation of the Mongol hordes. Doesn't quite concentrate so much on them depopulating whole villages in rivers of blood. And finally, Justice Deferred, a study of the history of the Supreme Court's record on racial equality issues. All of these are fascinating, but it'll be The Hound of the Baskervilles and Justice Deferred that I will read today. But not immediately. Not immediately. I think immediately the Bean and I are going to enjoy the weather, cold as it is. So I'm going to wrap this up. That is far enough videos for me today, and I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.